Hey Credit Warriors, Credit Shifu here. Now yesterday we did a video about how to break even or how to offset the annual fee on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Today we are going to be looking at the Sapphire Preferred, okay, the other popular Sapphire card. If you do want to know about the Reserve, you can check out yesterday's video. I'll put it at the end of this video. And just first of all, I apologize, there's a guy cutting grass outside. Not sure if you can hear that, but anyway, if you do hear a bit of a noise in the background, that's what it is. So let's get started, all right? Now the Sapphire Preferred, it has a $95 annual fee. In the past, it was waived for the first year, back when the sign-up bonus was a little bit lower. At the moment, it seems the annual fee is not waived for the first year, but the sign-up bonus is 60,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points, okay? So that's 60,000. That would be worth $600 if it was all redeemed for cashback, which would pay or cancel out the first 6 years of annual fees. So that is huge. Basically, the card is free for 6 years, especially if you redeemed it for cashback. You could just use it, you know, to pay the annual fee every year. Of course, no one's going to do that, but just in the relative value. When you redeem for travel through the travel portal, it gives you 1.25 cents in value per point, okay? So you get 1/4 cent more than if you redeemed for cashback. Chase Travel Portal is where you can basically book flights through Chase. And we're not talking about transfer partners here, we're talking about the travel portal. So that 60,000 point sign-up bonus would be worth $750 if you were to redeem it through the travel portal. So that would pay for the first 7.5 years of card membership, okay? Offsetting the $95 annual fee for all those years. Okay, so I think most people use their sign-up bonuses for some sort of amazing trip, right? Business class flights or 5-star hotels or whatever. So they're probably not really going to be able to contribute it to offsetting their annual fee. So actually, how do we offset this annual fee or break even on a sort of annual basis in a normal year when you're not getting a sign-up bonus? Let's have a look at that. So the Sapphire Preferred doesn't have any sort of travel credit or any other benefits like lounge access or whatever that we could use to kind of offset that annual fee, okay? So the $95 annual fee is basically the annual fee, the effective annual fee, okay? The Sapphire Reserve, it's $450, but after we deduct the travel credit, it's $150 effective annual fee. With the Sapphire Preferred, it's really is just $95 effective annual fee. So we're gonna offset all that annual fee through our spending. Now the Sapphire Preferred, it has the bonus category on travel and dining, all right? So we're gonna assume that all our spending on the Sapphire Preferred is gonna be in that category because obviously, you know, if you're a credit card sort of enthusiast, you're gonna have other cards for your regular spending. You may have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which is 1.5 points on everything, so it makes sense to use that over the Sapphire Preferred for just regular spending. When you're not getting a bonus on the Preferred, you can transfer the points over to the Preferred afterwards. So we're only gonna use the Preferred for travel and dining. All right, so you would have to spend $4,750 in order to earn back the $95 annual fee through cashback, okay? Because $4,750, you're getting 2x for that, 2 points per dollar or 2 cents per dollar if you're looking at cashback. So when you double that, it's $95 or 9,500 points. You'd have to spend $3,800 to earn back the $95 annual fee through a travel portal redemption, okay? Because when we redeem through the travel portal, it's worth 1.25 cents per point. So that 2x per dollar is actually worth 2.5x. So the spending would only be $3,800. And then the last one, if you were transferring to partners, which is the value you get out of that, it's approximately 2 cents per dollar. So you would only have to spend $2,375 to earn back $95 in value when you transfer to transfer partners, and you know, you'd offset the annual fee that way. Now there is another kind of sneaky way to offset the annual fee using the Freedom. It was a little bit controversial when I talked about it yesterday. Some people typed some comments complaining about it. But anyway, we'll get into that afterwards. I want to talk about that. But first of all, I'll tell you what it is. So if you were spending with the Chase Freedom, you'd have to only spend $1,520 in the 5% rotating quarterly categories and then transfer that over, you know, the points that you would get from that at 5%. So that would be 7,600 points. Transfer that to the Preferred, and then through the travel portal with that extra 1/4 cent in value you get, that would be enough value to offset the $95 annual fee. Now I want to look at this comment that someone left yesterday, okay? So I'll read this out to you first. Your math is off. Freedom earn 5% regardless of if you have the Reserve. If you spend $2,000, you get that $100 regardless. In other words, the bonus category of getting the Reserve is the 1.5 bump. So you actually need to spend $6,000 on the Chase Freedom in order to offset the annual fee in opportunity cost math. And then he includes a little equation at the end. So basically what this guy is trying to say, okay, if you perhaps didn't quite understand it from the comment, is that, we talked yesterday with the Sapphire Reserve that you could spend $2,000 on the Chase Freedom in the 5% categories, which would get you the number of points needed. So it's 10,000 points, and then when you transfer over to the reserve, you get what this guy described as a 0.5% or a 0.5 bump. Okay, so adding an extra 0.5 to the value of the points, so it's 1.5 cents per point in value. You get that extra bump, and you can then do travel redemptions with that. Well, he's saying that because the points come from the Freedom, and there's an opportunity cost, right? You're obviously losing out on using those points as cashback in the Freedom card. You should only count that extra ½ cent in value that you're getting from your points when you transfer to the reserve in order to offset the annual fee. Okay, so it's an interesting concept. So what he's basically saying that if you spent $6,000 on the Freedom in 1 year, and maxing out all the categories, right? You would get 300 points, and you then transfer, $300 or 30,000 points. You then transfer that over to the reserve, and you get an extra 50% in value. So that would take you up to the equivalent value of $450. So actually, you get an extra $150, which offsets the $150 effective annual fee on the reserve card. Okay, so I think it's an interesting point. Thanks for joining the conversation to that guy who posted that. Interesting data point, interesting way to think about it. Personally, though, I don't really agree that that's like incorrect the way I worked it out. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because if we're only talking about mentally allocating points to offset our annual fee. We're not literally going to redeem them for cash back and directly use that to pay the annual fee. We're just ensuring we get enough value out of the cards. And think about it this way. If you mentally allocated your Freedom points, okay, to pay your annual fee on your reserve, what about all the points you're earning on your reserve at 3x in travel and dining, and that are now worth 1.5 cents per point, so really 4.5% per dollar? What about those that you're now freeing up? Okay, so there's a kind of reverse opportunity cost going on as well. So in reality, the way I look at it is that all the points just kind of go into a big pool. This is my Chase system, my Sapphire and my Freedom, which whether that's Sapphire Reserve or Preferred or Freedom Unlimited, they all go into a big pool of the amount of value I've got, and my annual fee is this much. Once my points surpass that, then I'm in profit. Okay, and really we were just talking about the quickest way with the least amount of spending to cancel out your annual fees, and then anything you earn after that, you're in profit. Okay, so I don't really think you need to consider opportunity cost in this equation, but it was a cool data point that guy pointed out, is that if you spend $6,000 on the Freedom, you can pay back your reserve annual fee by transferring over the reserve and getting that extra ½ % of value, whilst preserving the entire value of what your points would have been worth on the Freedom. So cool point. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please comment below. We'll also put a link to the Chase Sapphire Preferred below as well. If you're interested in the card, you can check it out. It's currently got a 60,000 point welcome bonus. It is, of course, affiliate link. So if you want to see our advertiser disclosure, it's right at the bottom of the description section. You just click show more and you'll be able to see it. Please subscribe if you're new. Give this video a like. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.